74 episode of Valheim, slow and easy with me, Hank. Hello, everybody. Starts right now. We're playing the game again. Back here, doing another round of Terrace work. In the last episode, we chopped out these little nice alcoves. Not sure what to call them. Probably going to take some refining eventually, but for now, they're good enough. This is a big old project. We're going to try to do some work down here today. Dig these out. Don't spend the entire time yapping. Less yapping, more smapping. Okay? Time to yap. Time to smap. That's what the boss likes to say. Uh-oh, I smapped too hard and too deep. The dwarves dealt. The dwarves smapped too hard. Too deep. Frodo Baggins. Man, being Elijah Wood, huh? That fucking guy. What a life. I saw a video. This show is just going to be me talking about stuff I've seen on TikTok, by the way. That's actually... I do have... Yeah, okay. Anyway. First of all, wait, Elijah Wood... What did I just... Oh, yeah, he's in Yellow Jackets. That's a show. He actually plays a pretty good character in that. He's Frodo. He's fucking Frodo. People know him for being Frodo. And rightfully, Samwise Gamgee gets plenty of flowers and credit for his role in that whole story. But, you know, Frodo, man. People don't remember him for his turn in Sin City, where he plays a black and white guy with glasses filled with white fluids. That's a crazy movie. So he's a beloved figure across all the lands, because it seems like Lord of the Rings is truly a special thing that doesn't get done. That kind of thing is pretty rare, and it probably won't happen again. But of course, Elijah Wood is enjoys the luxury and benefit of his fame and fortune and being healthy, and he's also exactly the right size for good health. Tall people tend to struggle a little bit more, maybe. A bit of that Great Dane syndrome, you know? Fellow tall people, 5'7" and up, you know what I'm talking about. But, so he's got a delightful energy about him, too. He's sort of, he's kind of ethereal. He feels like he might be glowing a little bit, that Frodo, that Elijah Baggins that we all love so much, so... There's a wedding, and I think this is at the Shire or something. Maybe it was a Shire-themed wedding, I don't know, but they're doing some shit down there. And then he walks up, and he knows who he is. He knows he's super famous. He knows he can't just, like, pop up and no one would recognize him. It's not like he knows he's not minding his business, let's just say that. That's how famous he is. But he was in the, you know, he handles that really beautifully. And then everybody just like loses their shit. Suddenly, Frodo's at their Lord of the Rings wedding, and he's looking great, you know. And he runs, you know. They interrupt the wedding, and he goes up and they take pictures, and there's people, you know. And he spends like 5 minutes. He actually doesn't overstay his welcome. It'd be funny if he took like several hours. Why are you guys getting tired? Just. But no, you know, he just pops in, and they are over the moon. They can't believe how awesome it is. Of course that would be the case. Who the hell would be, like, annoyed? Fucking Frodo messing up my wedding. What are you doing, man? Trying to bang this lady here. Almost, I just need a few more hours. So he was there claiming prima nocta. And good for him. No, I don't mean. But, yeah. It's just so nice. It's just such a lovely thing. And it's got to be weird to be like, my presence will improve your day. I mean, I do a YouTube channel, and that's what I'm hoping happens with this video. So that, like and subscribe. But, you know, it's got to be odd to sort of know that you're going to make their day, which is, I think, why the quick in and out is what makes him so special. You know, it would have been fine if he sat down and stayed. That would have been fine and awesome, obviously. But that's the thing, is you leave quickly, and then it's just like, did we just spend like 10 minutes with fucking Frodo? Did he leave? He's gone. Where'd he go? And you hear like little pitter patter footsteps. Little scary. You turn. Is Frodo stalking us? Carrots, beans. And then there's multiple Elijah Woods, and they circle. One comes out and it is awkward, but it makes it seem it's trying to be friendly. It's actually the smart one. You know, that's the coyote that they send out to bait the dog into coming back to the pack, and then they all descend upon him. Now that's another way that could have gone, and just the fact that he doesn't do that to people is proof of how great a guy he is. Okay, I'm gonna book a wedding event in the Shire. No marriage, I'm just gonna pay for as if I'm married, and then hope that he turns up. That sounds like a good. So yeah, you get to live on a planet where that happens and where all the other stuff happens, which sucks. So yeah, welcome to the channel, everybody. This is how it goes. This is what we do. Speaking of Elijah Wood, Daniel Radcliffe saw TikTok. Another one of those guys. Charismatic and fun. Talented. He's done some weird movies. Obviously, you know him as the original Harry Potter. And overall, seems to be just a stand-up bloke. By the way, did you know women can't be blokes? Yep. It's England's #1 rule. Bunch of rule following. Oh, I almost said the C word, which is much more acceptable in England than in America. We don't want to cross any lines here with ugly cultural things. Yeah. Yeah, ladies can't be blokes. Kind of fucks with your brain. So Daniel Radcliffe was talking about how people think he's Elijah Wood. What was that on Jimmy Fallon? It was TikTok. I don't know. And I thought to myself, man, and he even said the same thing I was thinking, which is not a bad guy to be mistaken for. It was some podcast. That's what it was. And they had interviewed Elijah Wood relatively recently, and they had him record something. So he actually had a message for Daniel Radcliffe, which was very friendly and kind of just like, hey, people think I'm you all the time. Kind of funny. Of course, his big, glorious elfin eyes are matched. You know, when they're side by side, they're quite different, but they are kind of the same guy. It is funny how there is that Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton thing, but Daniel Radcliffe, Elijah Wood, they are that. It makes sense that you'd see, because they're both super famous, and so it just sort of lines up in other ways. Physically, kind of. Small, shorter stature, but they're not. They don't look face-wise. They're very not. But because Elijah Wood is such a marvelous elfin miracle. So it was nice. And then what Elijah Wood said was like, we should work together on a project. I have some ideas. We should talk. It was really fun. It was kind of cool. Because that's the level of like actor where you decide what you do. You don't have to be like, oh, hope I get a job this month. I'm hungry. Let's get some lights going up in this bitch, huh? Or we're making work down here. Let's see, I just did the thing I tried to do again. Why the hell did I start talking about Elijah Wood? I don't know. There's these videos of Daniel Radcliffe. He does a lot of stage stuff. And it's some sort of show where he runs around the audience and he gives out cards to people. It seemed to be predominantly young women with their women mothers. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, probably plenty of men around. Whatever. Who cares? It's not that. But he's like, excuse me, would you like to be in the show? Do you think you could handle the show tonight? And so it's like brilliant. And he's like, all I need you to do when I say this word, just shout out the phrase 27, just really loudly, just great, good job. And he's all buzzed up. He's like got this energy. And he's it's like, what the hell is going on here? What is this guy doing? I don't know what the show is. And so there's a little clip of it. It's like some sort of round ring type, meaning like audience on all sides, I think. And obviously he knows what he's doing. He's got some kind of thing and he's making people laugh. It looks like it's really funny and interactive. And, oh yeah, I was supposed to turn on some lights down here, wasn't I? I'm sorry, everybody. I want some stair lights. And so, of course, the comments are saying stuff like, it's awesome that he does that himself. He doesn't need to do that. He could have someone else come out and he's like producing a show every night. And it's right before showtime. I mean, it's probably within an hour or 30 minutes. You know, he's like, that is, you know, if you've ever been in any kind of live performance sort of environment, that last 30 minutes, that 10-minute countdown, you know, your whole body starts to change because you got to get into your damn brain space for it. But part of his whole thing is running around getting 15-year-old girls to yell numbers at him for some reason. But he's so lovely. He's like, brilliant. Great. You're going to do great. And then he like runs off. And then people are like, oh, because now you're in on the show. So a lot of the comments say, oh my God, I would be so, I would never not bring it up that I performed on a Broadway show with Daniel Radcliffe. I almost called him Elijah Radcliffe. Oh my God, it's so amazing. He's so cool. Oh my God, he's so fun. But also like, that guy is jacked the fuck up. Like he's wired because he's a performer. He's got the bug, man. I was the same way when I did stand up, you know? Brilliant, I'd say. Brilliant. Excuse me. Can I sleep under your stairs? Might I have a crumb of sticky toffee pudding? Just a crumb? May I have a slice of your owl pie? I love a good owl leg. This is the Harry Potter world where owls are the main source of protein, and therefore the wizards have a hard time communicating. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, so we got this nice little curve. All right. Kind of a mess around here. So where's... Okay, let's build out. We have 4 wide. Is that how many we... Yeah, I think so. Yep. Well... Okay. So yeah, maybe we cut it off. Zoom it in. Oh, all right. Let's go kill those deer. How dare you? How dare you survive one of my blows? There's a guy. We're looking for deer. Oh, there we go. I see another one. Oh. I don't think I've been rested in a bit of a time. You there. Excellent. Put down a unit of deer repellent. Everywhere I kill a deer, I bury a unit of deer repellent. Let them burn for a little while, but then I want to cover those up. Okay. I tried to open them. I pressed the open button. How come this chest ain't opening? Nope, keep that. Copper? What does that mean? Does that mean that there was a iron working thing? Probably. Let's hang on to that. I think I need coal, don't I? Okay. What am I doing here? Sorry. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, I did need the coal, so I had to. Because we're going to need it for building out stair things. This is a bit of a puzzle because I don't know. This is kind of why I decided to focus on the interior of the walls, these inside spaces, because I figured that would kind of help me decide how to set up these arches in this spot, because I need to build out vertical supports for this stuff, and that means oh, yeah, fellas, we got turf war happening. That means I don't know why that's where I chose to put that, but wait, I got one right here. What the fuck am I doing? Well, where did I pick that up from? I just assumed I'd picked up the one I had. Okay. Hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways, you know? All right. Yeah, so this side now. I feel like, okay, we'll do a wood wall. I did kind of always sort of just imagine it being all stone everywhere. And I can still do that. We don't have to totally limit ourselves, but mixing them up does make sense. And if for now we're kind of using our resources a little bit more carefully. Oh, fuck. Missing requirement. I am the requirement. Skylar. Tons of shows out that I've not seen. I don't have the streaming services. I have Amazon because I'm evil, and because I use Star Trek as a sleep aid. That's where Star Trek is. It is truly. I'll go through occasional Stargate phases too. But man, I love Star Trek. Oh, really? So it's just not because my stamina is down. Just finished up a DS9 watch. Probably the 4th time I've watched the full thing through. I skip around a decent bit. I don't necessarily. Sometimes I'll get kind of obsessed with an episode where I will fall asleep within like 5 or 10 minutes, and so I'll watch it, and then I'll like over like a week, I'll work my way through it, picking up in the middle, and not really know where I left off or not, because I've seen it all, so it's like it's fine. But I kind of like some of the characters more than others. I like Garrick. I don't know, any Garrick heads in the audience gonna see me at? Can we see each other at Garrick Con 2027? I got front row seats. Andrew Robinson. The man is intense as fuck and freaky and creepy and weird and totally mesmerizing. People love Garrick. Garrick! He's the simple tailor who actually holds on to some dark, dark secrets. And, of course, I like the rest of the cast and crew. Cisco, Avery Brooks. That man has the most beautiful voice. Even more beautiful than Elijah. I don't want to call him Elijah Mechanic. Where's that coming from? Elijah's eyes are not as pretty as Avery Brooks' voice. Very deep talking man. But I guess he's like a singer guy though. He's an actor, you know. He plays, but he there's a few moments in the series where he sings, and oh, it's heavenly. It's just so amazing. He's the one where he's cooking. He's also a good cook because his dad's a chef in the story in the show, and he's like, la 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 dee, la 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 la. He's just doing that kind of singing, and you're just it's just like if blood were honey, I'd be a beehive. You know what I mean? Mm. And then let's see, he also sings in what's the name of that episode? It's the one with the weird game. People show up and they want to play games, and there's some awkward, cringy scenes. It's one of the earlier ones that people seem to hate. I find it very entertaining. What the hell's that one called? I can't think of that episode. I'd love to do one of those podcasts where you just like review these shows and talk about them for fun with interesting people. Fly Away Home, something. But isn't that a movie with Anna Paquin where she helps geese migrate? But he sings a little bit in that. One character I think is really phenomenal is this actor. He looks like Donny Osmond for you Gen X fans out there. And he plays the head Vorta, which is the middle managers, the kind of PMCs of the Dominion, this menace of a people who are the main foils for the season, for the whole show. So he's a kind of a corporate military type sort of thing, but he's a alien freak, obviously. Played by Jeffrey Combs, who also plays the Ferengi character Brunt, and he plays like 7 characters. It's Brunt and Wayoon are the 2 big ones, and he's amazing. He's magnetizing. I meant to say mesmerizing, but yeah, Jeffrey Combs as Wayoon. There's just something very present about the acting. I just think there's acting is so good in that show. Cisco's relationship with Jake is, of course, so fun. Nog, come on, everybody, come on. Tell me you don't have a soft spot for that fella. His dreams of joining Starfleet. I want to make a Star Trek animated show, like an unofficial. Just start doing it. I know there's a lot of talk about old Trek, new Trek. I have fairly harsh opinions about new Trek. I find it somewhat cumbersome, mostly. I wish we could stick with the 90s Treks. Consensus does seem to be. I mean, there's plenty of fans for the new stuff, and I think that's fine. I wouldn't want to take that away from anybody. But, yeah. I have a really good idea for it. That hopefully... So then, do I want this to go as far out? I might as well line it up. Yeah. That'll look kind of cool. It'll be a nice enclosed kind of spot. It's expansive. Okay. My one past the wood, yeah. I mean, look at that draw distance. That's pretty cool. We got to get out on a boat. Maybe we'll do a little bit more here, and then do a little bit of adventuring and really put this computer through its paces. Can it handle a low poly game from 2021? Only one way to find out. How about some... Yeah, Jeffrey Combs, though. I find Wayoon I don't know. Some of the characters, I find them just sort of, they help me fall asleep. Like I have to sort of, it's weird. Like I notice that if I, obviously I'm trying to, I'm not doing a good job. I'm failing at it, but the phone is just, I think, making us all insane, myself included. Do I really need to scroll for 2 hours at 3 in the morning? Like what the fuck am I doing? What kind of torture am I doing right now? And, so like turning on Star Trek kind of gives me something, and I really need to get my reading back into its. No, does this? What's going on here? Because there's a weird little curve. Maybe if we line it up with the wood, this is gonna look goofy, but we'll just leave it. Yeah, we'll futz with that later. So if I, one thing I do to help sleep is I do autistic stimming on purpose. That's not something I did before because I didn't know what autism was. Although I was definitely doing it. I've always done this thing. It's called cricket feet, where you like rub your feet back and forth. I did that a lot. And I'm a side sleeper, which explains why my right leg is twice the size of my left leg. I'm a fiddler crab, but in the legs, and I'm an ape. But I'll notice that if I'm struggling a bit, the thing that really kind of turns off my brain is focusing. If I don't have the thing to focus on, then the thoughts spiral around and just kind of create anxiety and emotions and messy brain shit. But if I dial it in on Jeffrey Combs' acting, for instance, or Elijah Wood's beautiful eyes as he delights a wedding party, then I find that it knocks me out. Then I fall asleep fast. And when I was younger, I used to wake up much easier too. I have a hard time waking up now. Probably because of the idiotic, 6 hours of scrolling. Books are where it's at, though. Books are your tether to reality, and I say that as somebody who is forced against his will to be tethered to reality. Books really ground your mind and your body. And then there's the annoying comments that people say that audiobooks don't count as reading. Like, first of all, who the hell are you to say that? Don't count. But like, they do. I've listened to a few audiobooks. I struggle to keep focused. I started listening to The Parable of the Sower. And lovely voice. Beautiful, beautiful lady voice. Doing the reading and very, very nice. I did this. I've tried an audiobook before where I'm like, ugh, this person's kind of annoying. And yeah, I didn't end up following through all the way. It was really interesting, though. I'd really want to keep doing that. But it felt like I was ingesting it similar to reading. I had to actually, I would find my attention wandering away from it. It's easy to do. I guess that's a little bit easier when you're on an audiobook. But if you're walking or driving or doing stuff and you're listening to a book, that's reading. You're engaging, and I guess there's been research too. You're engaging the ingestion system in your brain that ingests concepts. It's not the format as much as it's the words and the concepts you're getting from your world. I think reading and writing is among humankind's greatest, most interesting behaviors. Look what the hell you're doing. You're inhabiting another person who is dead, converted a chunk of their consciousness into paper through the magic of abstraction in the form of letters that form words and sentences. And then you can sit there and you can have an experience with that dead person's consciousness. That's amazing. That is so cool. So, got to get into the reading. Maybe I can read books about Jeffrey Combs and Wayoon and Garrick. Yeah. This looks better. Let's tear out this wood crap because it's messing up our vibe. And yeah, then we'll go on an adventure, I think. Let's take a little bit of walk around, just a slight bit of a mess. Let's do it the smart way. Yes. That's not how you tear down a house, rookie. You don't just cut out the bottom of it. We had some trees by this garage we had when we were kids. We lived in this like older house that had this big mess of a building in the back. They called it a coach house. It was like antique garage. We had some shit in there, but it was mostly not used. Had an attic and a couple of weird rooms in the bottom, first floor. So not a very safe place for children to be running around or have access to. But nevertheless, I did build a tree house, a 2-story tree house, although it was only about maybe 6 feet tall total. So you had to climb in and climb up against it once. But somehow it got into my head that I think there was a city inspection or some shit, some way I ingested this through my mom that a tree that was too close to the garage had to go. And I took it upon myself to like fix that. So I decided to cut it down. And it was a big tree. I mean, it was like a base of about 12, 14 inches thick. So it was taller than the 2-story garage, and it was not a small little branch tree. It wasn't just like a singular, not like some 12-foot single tree that I could have handled. It would have been a big problem to cut if I had actually followed through. And I was out there sawing away. I was probably 10 or 11 or something. And the neighbor comes up, and he was a construction dude, and we knew him. Like, he was like a nice guy. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Maybe hold on." And like stopped me. I was like, "I got to cut the tree down." It's like, yeah. And he wasn't being a dick. He was saving the garage, the house. I mean, it wouldn't have hit the house. It was too far away. But I could have gotten really hurt. You don't just cut a tree down at the base. Yeah, that guy, and he was really capable, like, construction dude. Now that I look back at that time, he was probably in his 30s. He was, a hale man, So he actually goes and gets a ladder and starts and a saw, and he jumps up and starts like cutting branches off the tree, and he helped cut it down. I don't remember if we got the whole big trunk down, but he knew to cut down branches one at a time and throw them into the yard. That was really dangerous. Should not have been doing that. He might have called my mom, or I don't know. But I didn't get in trouble. It was just one of those, like, sometimes I think about it and I go, man, that guy did a nice thing intervening. Trees go nuts. They're so heavy. They're heavy as shit. Especially live trees, because they also have a water weight inside them. Wood is heavy enough when it's dry. People don't realize how fucking smoked you can get by just a small branch. I gotta find those videos of my dad. There was one up. He was cutting a tree down. My family's had a house in Wisconsin forever, and like an shitty old cabin type place. So he's cutting this tree down, and it was like a tree holding up another tree, like a junk fall, and then like he was so stupid. He cuts it, and this huge tree just almost takes him out. Just falls immediately, and it was very clear that that's what was. My stepmom was filming it. That's why. And you hear her go, "All right, go," and then all of a sudden this tree, and she goes, "Ah!" It's like she's like, as it dawns on her that she's about to film it happening. It missed him, so it's kind of a funny video. But it's like, bro, what are you, me? And then finally, there's another video out there of an old lady, and I think she's like smoking. She's kind of cool looking, she's sort of a badass, and she's got a chainsaw. Look at this place coming together. And she's sawing away at some tree in her yard. She's got to be 70-ish, but she looks like a hale 70-something. Tough grandma lady, You're like, yeah, girl, you get it. You tell that tree what's up. Well, something's. This is where trees go. You know, obviously we've all seen the TikToks where the tree lands on a house or the building, and there's somebody filming, and you always hear you see the dudes down around it panicking, going, "Gah!" Their day is like half done, or you know, then you got to remove the tree. You got to be careful, you know. But like, there's a whole sequence to that day when it goes right. But when the tree turns 40 degrees and lands on the house, it adds a lot of stress to the day. You can just see them all going, fuck. I dropped a full 32-ounce iced coffee with light ice once, and I hadn't had a sip of it, and I freaked out because I was so upset. I needed that caffeine so badly. So I understand what it feels like. And this lady, she's sawing away. Then we'll go into an adventure here. You know, she's doing her thing. I don't remember why it was a second tree involved, because these things are under tension, and as it, you know, and this one branch just pops up as part of this like falling tree thing, and it just goes whoop, like right over her head, like an arch, just goes whoop, like it misses her by like 2 inches, just skims right over her fucking face and her head and behind her. If it was off by 2 inches, it would have clobbered her right in the head, neck, snapped, and it was. She didn't even notice it though. Like it goes right over her, and then she's just like, as the tree, and she's kind of like, "Yeah, I did it." These trees will destroy you, bro. Just go take a butter knife and drop it on your hand from 2 feet up. It weighs a lot less than wood. Well, you know, depending. Now imagine a butter knife the size of a tree, and it's made of wood. Okay? Enough said. Let's go get rested. Oh yeah, wait. These things didn't fall down. I think you doubters out there are starting to fall in love with Terrace Mania, by the way. I know that some of you didn't believe in it. You didn't have the mania. You didn't have vision mania like I do. Well, now you do, okay? This is what turns people into believers. First, they ignore you. Then they laugh. Oh, fuck. That was holding up. Then they laugh at you. Ha 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 ha. Wait, the sound of being ignored. Ow, my neck. Then they laugh at you. Ha ha. Then they fight you. I fight you. Then you win. That's what they say. I'm still in the being ignored phase of the documentary project I'm working on. Actually, that's not true. I did get laughed at, actually. So, a couple more phases to go. I am gearing up to do a lot of work on it. And I'll be driven by the need to move on and be done. And also tell the story correctly and make it a film. Do good filmmaker stuff. But it's easy to get lost in some of the emotions that are unpleasant. Yeah. All right. Is this stuff going to hold now that does the wood hold it up a little bit? I think it does. Yeah, so when we enclose the stairs, I don't know, maybe we do a run through. Maybe we put like a little walkway under there. Oh, look at this big ping pong ball moon. Yeah, so let's do a little adventuring. Cloud just eclipsing the moon. Did you know that night on Earth is an eclipse? You're just in an eclipse. You're just really close to the planet. It's eclipsing the sunlight so that you don't get burned on your sensitive forehead like I do. All right, yeah, we're going to rest here. I do kind of want to sleep to give us some morning time, but oh yeah, we need wood. Not a wood. Oh yeah, I brought this shield up here. Did I build that or something? Well, let's just put it there. In fact, I was gonna just, oh shit, what did I just do? I hung up my mallet. I want to take out that I used to have a guy stand in there, or you know, armor stand thing. Bing, 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 bing. Maybe we'll just go do a little bit of fishing. See if we can get a... I got a bunch of stuff to build. Oh yeah, I built these. I haven't put them on yet. This is a hat. Let's go stand in the light here. Ha! Look at that funny hat. It's like if Santa Claus became a hippie. Earth tones. That's funny. Did he rob a bagpipe player? The hell? What kind of... So much to do, so much to decorate, so many places to go, so much inventory to sort. So let's go. Did I even get rested? Yes, I did. As I was playing with my clothes. All right, let's grab that. What else do I need? I should grab some bread. I think I did a bunch of bread baking. Do want to keep the fine wood in its own spot, which is not that. There's my pile of wood. It's well, who cares? We'll just put it away here. That's fine. Bread. Mm-hmm. Yeah. While we're here, let's have a bowl of carrots. Elijah Wood probably gets to have a bowl of carrots, stealing it from people, and they're just thrilled. What if he does that? He just, anywhere he goes, he just runs to any old wedding. We got this whole upper area. Not even sure why. I'm just sort of just testing around with house design. Build those in. That's nice. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Uh-oh, I hear a guy. I mean, it's the same old Valheim. I don't know why I expected it to be, like, substantially different. I think there's been some updates that are fun to... God, I'm jumping. Show yourself. Oh, yeah, there's the trees that are grown up that we could... Just put this crap away. Toot sweet. I don't have any bait. I think there might be some down there, but we should make sure we have a little bit of bait. I messed this up. $55. Is that mossy? Stingy. This is where I need serpent, because that's where you do to get the deep, heavy bait, which is what's for the red dudes and the tuna, I think. I feel like I'm missing. I know they're stingy, sticky. Deathsquitos. All right, we'll bring a little some of this. Okay, yeah, we'll play this another 10 minutes or so, just to see if we can get us into some sunlight. I want to see the water on the sun, if it will do us such a kindness. Gotta kill these guys. Oop. Kind of looking forward to seeing the draw distance. Not now. I hear bees. So yeah, you'll be pretty impressed with the gaming coming up here. I hope I can follow through. I've played this Batman game a bunch. I also have a game called Pragmata, which is a newer game that just came out that I might try. But it's just the thing that makes it work for me is if I can make the editing easy and the publishing easy. So part of what I'm planning to do is for each game, you've seen the thumbnails with there's usually a bear over here. Frequently a bear over here would be a better word. Yeah, we're seeing draw distance pop-ins. It's definitely not the computer. That's obviously oh, there's the bear right there. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So in order to like take help with the publishing, making the thumbnail, I'm going to... Why is that not crouching? C doesn't crouch? Come on now. You can't hurt me. Settings. Control. Toggle walk. I think I had that as like Y or T. Open emote wheel. Yeah, I'm not doing fucking emote wheel. That could go U. Toggle walk was Y. And then what was T? I mean, what was Y? No, T was auto run. Auto walk. Yeah. But no. Auto run was T. Walk was Y. Like whoa. But, oh, did I not save it? What the crouch. Yeah, I must not have saved it. Toggle walk. Y. Auto run. T. Emote wheel. U. Okay. Save. Did I not do that the last time? There it goes. Yeah, I like having Y and T next to it. I don't know. I might have to swap those. But then you can do... Whoa. Okay. Wow. Thumbs up. Well, that's kind of... I do actually like that. Boy, this is annoying. Having this rain. Do I even have a boat here? Yep, there it is. Okay, let's get rid of some shite. Yeah, probably need all of it. Don't necessarily need a hoe. Yeah. Very excited. Any repairs? Missing? What are you talking about? It can't be. Alright, well, it doesn't need it. First, let's check the storage. Nope. So yeah, we're looking for graphical updates and maybe there's game updates. Maybe the fish are different now or something. I still have my ambition to try to catch all 5 sizes of every fish species. However, I feel like that might not ever truly happen. How's the shrimps doing? They're eating. I gave them a few of the algae discs. I've been feeding them in jars lately. By that I mean I have like a small jar. It's not small enough, but It's small. It does. I want a smaller one to put it so it fits into the camera shot. And I use the jar. I shake the food into the jar. It's like that big. It's like a relish. And then oh man, I have accidentally brought bear meat. Nye. All right. I shake the food into a jar and get a little bit of water from the aquarium so it soaks up the food a bit enough. Sometimes it likes to float on the surface tension. And then I will slowly lower it onto the top of the pile of rocks that are in there, the slate rocks. There's like a flat one. It's above where the camera is currently. And then if you go slow, it doesn't all come flooding out. And then the shrimp slowly figure out that they can... Oh, that was a big one. Messed up. And the shrimp will figure out that they can get into the jar, and then they all cluster into the jar, and it's kind of cute. It's kind of fun. Oh, look at that size one there. I think that might be a 3. Got him. I should have... My stamina is not... My fish skill is decent, but... Now shoot it with an arrow. It's a beautiful game, man. Look at that draw distance. So we got some land. I want to see trees far away. That's been a thing in this game. Grab onto the hold fast. Wow, I was able to let me pick it up from all the way out there. Did they expand that range? Or is that like a... What size? A 3! And... Oh. Pick it up! That was its wife. My husband! It's a fishing... You know, 32 ain't bad. That was a pretty far distance, though. Let's try to catch a couple more. Anyway, the point is that I'm in the market for a small jar. I've seen... I'd like to get something that will kind of settle into that shot right there. I do like that shot. And then we'll have a little jar pointed right at the camera. It's not taking the bait. Come on. Why does it tell me dodge and space? Does that... Mouse 2. Like that's something you gotta do while you're fishing? There are fish I don't know, I am unaware of? Yes. Alright, come on. So before we take off, let's just check draw distance. Is that even one of these things? Very high. And everything's on very, very high. So what, like this is a spot too. If you've watched this enough, you've seen this base here. When I pull in, you don't see it at all until you get somewhat close to it. Here we go. Yeah. Get in here. Size 2. Not bad. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on the draw distance as we do a 3-point turn. Or a 2-point turn, I should probably... Like, see how there's no trees in the distance of those mountains. I kind of find that kind of annoying. That's okay. I'm not, like... Believe me, I'm aware of the scale of problems facing others. There's the bear. Still haven't gotten 2 bears next to each other, which I look forward to trying someday. I mean, because there's more bears, you have to assume it happens without being violent. But the videos that go around, of course, are the ones where they are either all enjoying salmon or lopping off chunks of each other's bodies when 2 full-grown males go at it or full-grown bears are fighting. Oh, see, it went away. I got too busy thinking about bear violence. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. We could do better than that, but maybe it's maybe that's just part of it. Like, oh, come on. Let me try something real quick. Let's just turn draw distance way down. The trees just, everything's gone. That's funny. All right, keep your eye on the land here, and I turn it back up. Can I move this window? No. Nope, not audio. All right, they're back. Okay. No worries. Oh, that is annoying. Like, why does that feel worse than before? We got to do some metal hauling. That's another thing I want to do. Just to also break things up a bit. I got a new dungeon area here that I'm going to be somewhere around, yeah, I think this or this, I don't know. For another round of steel or whatever, iron gathering. That's important. Gotta have those. And, but I also have just tons of metal. Lots of black metal, especially at the farm, around various spots. All right, let's get cruising here. I mean, it already looked amazing on the old computer. It really did. It looked awesome. A 1080 Ti. And this is a 5080, which that's a big one. It's a good one. I feel very fortunate, incredibly fortunate. And I want to make the most of it, not just with games, but with, you know, pixels and moving and such and such. And this film project I've just finally wrapping up. I think we're going to do one more round of stuff but I've done a full dialogue mix, full color correct. I've never actually done that level of color correcting, and it took me a minute to kind of get my head around it. And then finally I started it, and then it also developed pretty fast. I'm sure there's bad habits already being baked into it, but I can see how that's its own profession. There's a real art form. It's very technical, but it's also a majorly expressive in a creative vision kind of way. So I really want to like work on. I have an idea for a documentary about some stuff. We actually go out and film, and they film these digital cameras make 4K. You know, they film in 4K usually. And that means they're using 10-bit data instead of 8-bit data, like most things you're going to film on your phone if it's not 4K. There's probably an 8-bit formats, which just means less data. I know it doesn't make sense if you're not doing it, but when you do a 10-bit thing, like I actually had to upgrade DaVinci in order to process the footage from this one project into you know, as 10-bit. Otherwise, I would have had to do like annoying workarounds, and that was last November. And converting or working with the 10-bit stuff is using proxies, which helps a ton. And yes, I could eat another bite. But now that I've done the color correction phase of this project, I really have an appreciation for that extra data. Not that I was even comparing it to the 8-bit stuff, but it's so much, there's just so much information in the colors, in the shot, that whites aren't totally blown out, blacks aren't blown out, you know, so you can actually then move it into your color correcting workspace in DaVinci and organizing it. I mean, there's hundreds of shots, like 4 days of shooting. And then when you're in color, you've got it all cut up. So you've every single file, but you can group them. So if it's a scene with 300 edits and a whole bunch of different shots, 300 might be too much for one scene, but say 100, 30 will be from one angle, 30 will be, 20 will be from another angle, 8 will be from another angle, 16 will be from a different angle. So you're only color correcting like 5 or 6 groups, not all the shots. That's like organizational stuff. And, but man, it's so powerful. Easy to mess up. tricky. You gotta have a solid foundation for your starting point, and because you could muddle through it and get decent results, but it's helpful to know what's happening and why you're doing stuff. And I feel like I've gotten really good results, and I definitely am far beyond where I was when I started, but I could have just sort of muddled through it and been good enough, but this, I wanted to really learn it. And so building node trees and, you know, following good practices and the difference between linear and logarithmic color scale or color arches. I don't know what the fuck. Color scale, I don't even know. But yeah. So yeah, it's pretty fun. How about we just invade the land and do some raiding here? Huh? Sound fun? Do a little bit of marauding and murdering for you? Mm-hmm. I have here to maraud. Oh, wrong tool. Get out my marauding knife. You too, bird. Bird is too fast. Now to enjoy the spoils of my marauding. Berries. So yeah, man, the color thing is cool. I actually found some of it somewhat frustrating, and but when I finally started to dial it in, I was like, wow, I like this. This is really, oh look, there's a bunch of shit. All right, yeah. So I'll ramble more about that. Maybe I'll share about it. Do some stuff on Pixel Mover maybe. So I've really laid a big dinner for myself with all these projects, and I need to keep the energy up and keep moving and not overtax myself too much. That's what burns me out. Yeah, that's just sort of why I do the video game shit, because I actually kind of quite enjoy it. It's fun to do. So that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, smashing, destroying, bell ringing. Okay, I know it's not always do whatever the fuck you want. That's fine. Everything's fine. I hope you're having an okay time. Scary days out there. Be safe. Take care of yourself and those around you. Remember to move your body. Move those arms. Move them around. Just move them around. Don't hurt yourself, but move them around. Move them around a little bit. Move them around. Okay? Darwin smiles when you move your body. He likes nice people with nice bodies. Evolution. All right? So, bye, everybody. Gonna go see if Elijah Wood's in my kitchen. It's low probability, but I do live in California, so we'll see. Have a good one. Talk to you again. Hope you're doing all right. Bye.